Hello, I'm Wendy Rosa. I am the founder of the School of Intuitive Studies, and this video is on what is an intuitive healer and why would you seek out an intuitive healer training program if you think you are one. So, first of all, if we're meeting for the first time, I will just share with you that I've been an intuitive energy healer for 26, almost 27 years. And I run a school, and I come from a lot of experience and a lot of sort of immersed in the field of this work for a very long time. And so I'm coming with some information based on my own expertise in understanding and energy healing, intuitive energy healing, and also training healers. So, first of all, an intuitive energy healer is someone who utilizes their gift of intuition to help someone move through the healing process by identifying the underlying energetic blocks, components, imprints, emotions that might be contributing to their surface symptoms. And their surface symptoms can be physical, they can be emotional, they can be psychological, they can be sort of life path type issues or questions. What happens in the energetic body is that we carry in our energy system, which is beneath the physical body, physical layers, it's beneath the nervous system. We carry in our body an energetic system. It's comprised of a central channel, a grounding cord, chakras, meridians, all different kinds of energetic information is carried in our spiritual anatomy, we'll call it. And what happens is that an intuitive energy healer might have, when I say their gift of intuition, they might see, they might hear, they might feel, they might know. Their intuition might work in different ways in their own system that allows them to have a sense or an awareness or to get information about what an individual might be living within their energetic body that might be needing healing for that individual's surface experience to shift. Now, an intuitive would identify what they're seeing, what they might be feeling, what they might be getting about an individual's circumstance. That would be the intuitive part. The healer part is that the intuitive healer or intuitive energy healer wouldn't just stop there. They would take the individual through an experience to help clear the energy in their body. And they would guide the individual based on their own training in facilitating that healing and in combination with breath and awareness and inviting the client or the individual to connect to the energy that they're holding in their body, breathe into it, clear it, and release it. And that intuitive energy healer would guide the client through energy clearing that underlying energy in their body. And when we clear that energy in the subtle body or the spiritual anatomy, I'm using different terms here, what would happen is that it starts to shift the energy that impacts the cells. And then there's a cellular shift. And then out of the cellular shift, there is an actualization of that shift. Maybe they feel better. The client does. Maybe the symptom changes. Maybe their consciousness changes. They have deeper awareness. They take action steps according to this new shift that then therefore changes their life further. So this is the process that an intuitive energy healer would go through. Now, why would you seek out an intuitive healer training program? Is that there are so many modalities out there, and I know it can actually be crazy making that there's so many. Do I do Reiki? Do I do theta healing? Do I do tapping? What do I do? There's a lot out there, and I have a lot of empathy for how much, if you're just figuring this out, where to go. So first of all, I believe that in my experience and being an author of a book on empaths, I believe a lot of empaths are inherent healers. So they have a desire to want to help people and to help people shift. They want to help the greater good. They care. They have big hearts. They feel energy. And so whether you identify as an empath or not, you might just be feeling the calling that there is a gift inside you that needs to be untapped. Part of that is the intuitive part. The other part's the healing part. So I want to separate those out because that's important to know. So, and the reason you might want to embark upon an intuitive healer training program is because it puts together those two parts. There's programs on intuition, on spiritual healing or spiritual connection. And then there's trainings in healing, how you might work with trauma, how you might shift the emotional state. Reiki, for example, is a healing tool. And all of it is wonderful and beautiful, and you might need to explore a little bit. An intuitive healer training program combines both. It's intuitive training and it's the in-depth understanding of the healing process, including how do we heal the energy that's held in our body and how do we shift the inner state. Now, I offer an intuitive healer training program through my school, the School of Intuitive Studies, and clearly I have a bias in that I offer a training program, but this is what I advise people often when you're looking for, what type of program should I look into? What's right for me? So first of all, more than anything, trust your guidance. If the facilitator, the teacher has books, read the books. If the facilitator or teacher has YouTube videos, watch the YouTube videos. Get very intimately connected into what they are offering and teaching, and trust the vibe. Trust whether you feel the person is trustworthy and grounded. That's very important, that they are grounded in what they're doing and steeped in the history and in the studies and in the practices, that they are embodied in their craft and in their gift. Please do that research. That is very important. And that when you are doing the research, trust your intuition and your guidance on what you're drawn to. I always say to my students, or when I interview students for my training program, I trust when someone is guided. When they come to me and say, I have no idea why I need to be in this program, I just know in my bones, in my being, in my calling, that this is where I need to be. I trust that for somebody. I believe they are being guided by something greater than them. And I trust that in my case, my training program calls in the people who are ready to work at that deep level. I trust that. So absolutely trust your calling. Make sure that the training program is embodied. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of, in the field of spiritual growth and in healing work, there's a lot of spiritual bypass. And I think we're getting better collectively. I mean, I truly believe that. I don't want to shame the world and the spiritual realm, but we're getting better because we're tripping over ourselves and falling from grace. And that's truly what happens when there is a lot of spiritual bypass going on, is at some point you fall off the pedestal. And so we need enough of that going on in order to really get clear that in order for us to really transform and do our work in the world, we have to understand our humanity. And that spiritual or intuitive energy healing programs understand that it's not just all love and light, that we are working with the shadow and the human experience too. So I would look for that. Read as much as you can about the program, learn about the program, and see if you can talk to the facilitator of the program or a staff or faculty in the program I personally do interview my students, and if it's not me, it's one of my trainers who is interviewing students because we want to make sure the student is ready. In my intuitive healer training program, it's our in-depth year-long program. It's our big wig program. It is a weekly intensive process, and we want to make sure the student is ready for that level of work. If they're not ready for it, we might advise to do a different one of my programs to sort of prepare and then re-enroll at another time or reapply at another time. We have a lot of integrity and we take our work very seriously, and we're very nurturing and we hold incredible space, but we also want to make sure the student is ready. So certainly we talk to our students who want to join that program in particular. And I encourage you, to explore when you are exploring that you can get that level of personal touch with your facilitator of the program. So I wish you the best of your journey in exploring. And if this video did speak to you, and if it feels like you want to check out my program, you can go to schoolofintuitivestudies.com. And in there is a link to my intuitive healer training program. It's under Train with Me. So you can review my program, and if you would like to, you can go ahead and apply to the program. We have immense assistance support. It is a profoundly in-depth and thorough process, very grounded and very nurturing, and in guiding you in developing your intuition, in spiritual healing, but in deep embodied energy healing for yourself and learning how to work with others. So should you want to, you can please visit my website, schoolofintuitivestudies.com, and the program is called the Intuitive Healer Training Program. Many blessings. I hope this supported you on your journey, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.